Wow, what an episode that was. Dragon Ball Super episode 130 was an amazingly done episode, and props to the animators that worked on this episode. And I kinda figured out that over 20 animators took part in the production of this episode, and that's crazy, man. I mean, if you put it in perspective, normal episodes are produced by 1, 2 or maybe sometimes 3 animators only, but this was produced with over 20 animators. And that just simply shows you how influential Dragon Ball is to the animators industry. I knew that there was going to be an episode like this where the animation blows our minds, but I didn't think it was going to be on these proportions. I mean, it was so well animated that it was crazy, considering what happened in previous episodes of Super where they had to use a lot of bank animation. I thought it wasn't going to be this good. I was seriously caught by surprise with this episode. Not the animation only though, the direction was brilliantly done. The transitions to the flashbacks was done in a unique way this time, not just transitioning into a flashback, but displaying flashback in the current events that are happening. For example, some flashbacks were used and displayed on Roshi's glasses, and I think that was a pretty unique way and well planned direction. Even when it comes to the flashback where they display the journey that Goku has been through. Normally flashbacks such as these are done to fill the episode, since animation is so hard to produce in just a short amount of time. So they put in flashbacks which are previously animated and fill the time with it. However, in this case, with the flashback going on with showing Goku's journey from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z and to Super, they show a silhouette of Goku and Jiren fighting. So you can say that the flashback sequence wasn't done because they were short in time, but it was strictly an artistic choice. So let's go to the first part now. The first part wasn't that major, it was basically just fighting and very minimal dialogue. And while I was watching the first half, I was thinking like, I know that normally the second half is much better animated than the first half. And when I saw first half animated, I was like, wow, if this half is this good, how is the second half going to look like? Even in the first half, the animation was greatly done and well choreographed. Jumping into the second half, there were a bit more dialogue than the first half, considering that the first half didn't actually have a lot of dialogue, but it was still mainly focused on the Goku vs Jiren fight. And I honestly think like the episode switched in tone as soon as Jiren launched a blast to the spectators. That was kind of the turning point of the episode. Like before that, it was just strictly fighting with no real backstory to the fight, but after Jiren launches a blast to the spectators, that's what changed the fight. And boy, did Goku get mad on this. And we finally got a confirmation, and it's in Goku's character to care for his friends, but in Super it wasn't that blatantly visible. But yeah, when Jiren launches a blast to the spectators and Goku got mad, that's when Naoto Shishida came in. And boy oh boy, the animation, oh my god, it was so fluid and well, even the art was amazing. I mean, it's Naoto Shishida, his art and animation, both of them are pretty damn great. And even the little details that he puts, like Goku is, if you don't know, just go watch that part again of the episode and pause in certain scenes where Goku is dodging Jiren's attack. You will come to see that Goku is dodging his attacks by using Kamehameha waves in his feet, hands, whatever, to ricochet from his blasts. And I thought that was a pretty great Easter egg that he put in this part of the episode, even though I didn't catch it in the first time that I was viewing the episode, since the animation is so fluid that it's hard to keep up with every little detail in the scene. But after that, Jiren gets defeated and Goku is going to finish him by knocking him out of the arena. However, the toll on the Ultra Instinct finally gets in play and Goku crumbles down into the ground. So here comes the part which is kind of controversial in the episode. Firstly, when Goku is in the ground, obviously Jiren is going to try to win the tournament, so he's going to have to knock Goku off the arena. And he's hesitant at first, he didn't want to do it, but Belmont, the god of destruction of Universe 11, insists that if he does this, he will win the tournament and obviously obtain the Super Dragon Balls to achieve his wish, which we don't know what his wish is as of this current moment. And that fuels him to get the determination that he needs to knock Goku off. However, when he launches the blast to knock him out, Frieza blasts Goku so that he won't go out of the arena. And we've seen this coming, it was kind of spoiled in the spoiler spoilers of Dragon Ball Super, so it wasn't that truly shocker, for me at least. But the truly shocking part of the episode is that Android 17 didn't sacrifice himself. And you could call this BS or an asshole even. However, I can understand kind of the way that they're trying to portray Android 17. I mean, the part that he isn't detected, I can definitely see that. He's an android and his energy isn't detected by anyone. But the part where he didn't die is kind of you know, I don't know how to feel about that. But it is what it is, and I guess I can overlook the fact that he's alive because the episode was so amazingly done, and props to Toei for this episode. I mean, seriously, this was one of the greatest episodes of Super, hands down. And sadly, next episode is going to be the last episode of Super. It has been a fun ride. I mean, really, I've been watching Super since episode 1 weekly, and I've come to, you know, really looking forward every week to watch a Super episode. Even the down parts of Super, which were a bit boring, but I still got through them because Dragon Ball is my childhood altogether, and there is a lot of hate in Super especially, but still, nonetheless, I've enjoyed watching Super all this time from episode 1 to episode 130, and I'm very proud to be a Dragon Ball fan altogether. Now fingers crossed that next week is not going to be done poorly, since in 20 minutes they can only cramp up so much info and content, so it will probably be a little rushed, but it all depends on how they execute it. Honestly, at first I thought they were going to end it with the Z ending with Oob and everything, but now I'm more on the side where they're going to end it with a cliffhanger. I don't know, man. I think the most plausible conclusion of Super is that however he does this, Frieza wins the tournament and manages to get his wish, and that's when the episode ends, with Frieza's wish as a cliffhanger. And that's probably the best conclusion that they can have, because it won't be too rushed, since in an episode you can definitely end this fight and make the wish, but they can't definitely cramp up the end of this fight, the wish, and a conclusion, another conclusion in external to the tournament. They can't definitely crank that up with all these events. So yeah, that was an amazing episode of Super, probably one of my top 5 favorites of Super, and one of my top favorite episodes of Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super altogether, especially in the animation standpoint. Animation standpoint, hands down, the best animated Dragon Ball episode, period. You can't debate that. Even the movies are well animated, as you know, especially the Resurrection of F. The Resurrection of F movie is well animated. However, this episode, it's definitely much better animated than that movie. And if you think about it, that's crazy, alright? Like, an episode, there's so much little time that they can do to polish their content. In a movie, they've got months and months of build-up to animate the scenes. And to have a single episode in a TV series that is weekly and has been going on for 130 episodes especially, to compare it to a movie, that's absurd. Anyway guys, I know I've been kind of not uploading that much frequently. That's because I'm busy with kind of the real world right now, so I can't have the time to do videos as much as I used to back then, so I apologize for that one. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe and enable notifications if you want more Dragon Ball content. It's been Nightmare King, thanks for watching, see you on the next one.